Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Ganat Mirandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshan Militam Jina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Continuing with our study of the Bhagavad Gita, we're on chapter 2. We left off with text 18. Krishna had been speaking to Arjuna about the nature of this material world. In text 15, he talks about the fluctuations of sukha and dukkha, happiness and distress. That this world is a world of duality. And as such, sometimes we have to do things which are difficult to do. We may have to face circumstances which are not to our liking. Arjuna doesn't want to fight. He sees relatives before him. How can he fight with grandfather? With Guruji? How can he fight with cousins and brothers and like this? So he's wondering and confused about what is his duty. So Krishna says, you must perform that duty. You are Kshatriya. You're meant for giving protection. And you have to tolerate the dualities of this material world. Now, in verse 19, Krishna brings it up to another level of consideration. One who imagines that the immortal being can be killed, or that one can kill, does not understand that no one can ever kill or be killed. In the course of your duty as a Kshatriya, is anyone actually ever killed in the sense that the soul is eternal? The body is temporary, but the soul is eternal. So either you die a glorious death, being a Kshatriya, you will attain to the heavens, Swarg, or you release others from their karmic cycles by killing them in that way, in this glorious battle taking place here on the holy field of Kurukshetra. He goes on to say, that being who was not born can never die, and who having been will always be. The soul is eternal, Nitya. So, in one sense, he's ever existing. He changes deha, changes body, but he, the soul, will never die. Unborn, undying, with no origin, this timeless being is not slain when the deha is destroyed. So, from the one angle, bringing it back to what we were speaking of last time, Krishna dealt with the dualities of material nature, that there is pleasure and there is pain, happiness and distress. One has to learn to tolerate them while doing one's duty. Now, Krishna elevates the subject matter to the position of the nature of the soul. That within each and every deha or body, living being, there is the Atma. That soul is eternal. It never dies. The body changes, but the soul remains. The true self is indestructible, timeless, and is neither born nor dies. So then tell me, Arjuna, how is it that Purusha going to be slain? And who is able to kill them? No one is killed, and no one can kill. That is the point that Krishna is making. No one can kill, no one can be killed. There are circumstances in which the living being loses the present deha. He may lose it in battle. He may lose it in an accident. He may lose it just because old age takes it away. But everyone is bound to die because that's the nature of the temporal body. But it is the soul that remains. What becomes important is what we do within this life. That is the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, the Dharma of the Jiva. What do we do while we're living in this temporal encasement that will elevate us higher and higher to the ultimate spiritual perfection? Just as the Nara, the human being, throws away old garments that are tattered and worn, so the immortal day he leaves one material body and simply moves on to another. Krishna gives the example of old clothing. Sometimes something becomes torn and worn and we toss it away. It is a covering for the body. So in the same way, the body is a covering for the soul. That indestructible being, that is the soul, cannot be cut by weapons, burned by fire. Water cannot make it wet. The wind cannot cause it to wither. Whereas the material body is subject to being cut or burned or becoming dampened by water. Wind can chill us or heat us depending on the wind. But the soul is distinct. Therefore, in Vedic times, there were weapons made of different elements, elemental weapons. A weapon which would shoot fire. You cannot burn the soul, you can burn the body. A water weapon, a wind weapon. Any of these weapons which may destroy the external covering, the deha, cannot destroy the soul. In other words, you're just killing the body and the soul will go on. This Sanatan, immortal being, can also not be cut into parts, destroyed by fire, drowned by the water, or dried by the wind. It is nitya, everlasting, subtler than matter, always standing and existing forever. Nitya Nityananam. We are eternal, part of the supreme eternal. Chaita Chaitananam. We are conscious beings, part of the eternal conscious being, the supreme conscious being. That undying individual is invisible, inconceivable, and unchangeable. Therefore, you should not despair at the passing away of a bodily form. Death is a part of material existence. Just like there is old age, we cannot avoid. There is disease. Sometimes we try to our best, even while living within the body, we try to preserve this body for as long as we can. That is the nature of mankind. We take medicines and so forth, but still, they're unwanted. Disease is unwanted, old age is unwanted, death, it may be unwanted. But it is something we have to accept, that there is disease, there is old age, there is death. And in certain circumstances, such as in war, you may have to fight with others, and that will bring about the destruction of their deha, their body. War, as Arjuna is facing, is inevitable, whether he fights or doesn't fight. It's going to take place. The Kauravas are ready to defeat the Pandavas and all those who have sided with them. And they're going to claim their victory one way or another. So Krishna is saying that, okay, you Pandavas, headed by Arjuna, and all those who are standing behind you, you have an army behind you who understand your righteous position, and they're ready to fight with you. They're ready to take the life of the others because they're with you. They understand the nature of this world, and they're ready to fight on your behalf. So Arjuna, either you believe that the living beings are nitya or immortal, and are reborn again and again. That is Vedic understanding. that we are eternal, and the living being is born again and again until he resolves all his karmic circumstances and is able to move to the higher spiritual realm. But even if you don't accept the Vedic conclusion and you believe that they only live once and that their mrityu, their death, is final, in any case, why are you mourning? There is no need to mourn. You should not mourn their passing. They lived out their life and they're executing the responsibilities of their life or trying to take advantage of certain situations as they consider what is beneficial to themselves. That is the nature of mankind. One considers what is beneficial towards oneself and acts selfishly. But the dharmic duty is to act selflessly, not selfishly, selflessly, for the purpose of a higher good. The soldier is meant for working for the higher good of mankind. Therefore, generally, the rest of humanity says, thank you for your service. Like in America or in India, like that, we appreciate there is an army that is protecting us. And we say, thank you for your service. They are acting selflessly for the benefit of mankind or for their country, like that. Whoever is janma, that is, whoever takes birth within matter, will also experience mrityu, death of the body. And supposedly dead will also be reborn again. This is Vedic conclusion. This process is inevitable, so you should never lament about it. A Kshatriya who is fighting for a noble cause, or even those who are opposing him think their cause is noble, are also fighting for their noble cause. In any case, the soul will go on and they will take birth. They will get their due right, or according to the law of justice. All beings are unmanifest in the beginning, manifest for some time in the middle, then unmanifest again at the end. Crying and complaining will not change the process. The living being is seen to be existing because he has this body. But when he passes on, it doesn't mean he has lost his existence. He exists, but in a different realm, maybe even in a different body. Some may perceive this as amazing. Some may proclaim this as amazing. Others hear about it as amazing, but even after hearing about the process, somehow clouded. It remains a mystery to them. O Arjun, the Dehi within the Deha, the soul, Dehi, is within the Deha, within the body. That Dehi within the Deha of all beings cannot be harmed in any way. Therefore, you should not grieve for the passing on of any being, for they are simply following the course of existence, material life, birth, death, old age, disease, but then birth, rebirth. Since your swadharma as a Kshatriya is to fight, to protect, honor, and support the lives of the innocent beings, you should not fear or hesitate to fight in this battle. You are Kshatriya. You have a dharma. That is your swadharma, the nature that comes along, born along with the body. Brahmanas, they have a different duty. Vaishyas, they have another duty. Shudras, they have another duty. Everyone has their allotment in life, what they are meant for doing, and has to live in accordance with that dharma. You as a Kshatriya have the swadharma to fight, to protect, to honor, and support the lives of the living being, the innocent living beings. Therefore, you should not fear or hesitate, just like a policeman. He has to face dangerous situations, but he's there to honor and protect and support the lives of innocent people. So similarly with the soldier, He has to do these things. O Arjuna, the Kshatriya who gives up their lives while fighting for a noble cause are very fortunate. The Vedic understanding is a Kshatriya who fights to give protection to mankind because he is living a selfless life, honoring and supporting others. They will immediately be transferred to the Devaloka, a sublime realm where they spend their next life in joyful pursuits. They are immediately transferred, Krishna says here, through the door of Devaloka, a sublime realm. The heavens, that is the nature of pious activity, or we say good karma. The Kshatriya is acting in the highest sense of doing good karma by giving protection. He is not acting in a selfish way, but acting in a selfless way for the benefit of others. When one acts for the benefit of others, that selfless act is noted, and thus the good karmas that come to mankind through selfless activities brings one or takes one to the heavenly realms. But on the opposite end, if you do not fight on behalf of Dharma in this conflict, then you will go against your own swadharma. In this world, you will lose your fame and your glory. It's like a person who goes missing in action. It is considered a crime. It is ignoble. You have sacrificed and now you're hiding like a coward. At the same time, you will commit pap. That is negative karmas. You will produce those pap, sinful activities, which produces pain. There are two types of activities, punya and pap. Punya is positive, when one is elevated. But those things which bring pain to others and degrades one's life, takes one down to the hellish realms. That will lead to further bondage of the negative causes and effects of future lives. Now, as a result of neglecting your swadharma, in the future, people will only speak of your disgrace on the battlefield. Even after your body is dead and gone, they will always speak of your disgrace, which will ruin your reputation as an upholder of Dharma. For an honorable person, such dishonor is a fate far worse than the death of their body. You are the son of Pandu. The Pandavas, sons of Pandu, are recognized by all people to be pious, friends of Krishna, friends of Dharma. But if you act in an adharmic way, such dishonor will be a fate far worse than death, not only to yourself, but to your whole family. What will they speak of your brothers and your father? That this Arjuna, he did not execute his swadharma, but he left the battlefield. What a coward. Out of fear he has left. That's what they will think. The great warriors who previously spoke highly of your character and your abilities will assume you left the battlefield out of cowardice. They will deride you and never speak of you again with respect. Your enemies will ridicule you with harsh words, denigrate your ability as a noble warrior and a protector of truth. Oh, what could be more humiliating for you? Listen, Arjuna. Either your body will be killed in battle, and you will ascend to the joys of the Devaloka. You will triumph in battle and establish an honorable life here on Bhumilok, Mother Earth. Therefore, in either case, Uttishta, stand up. Stand up, Arjuna, and fight. Here again, Krishna is emphasizing, you have to do your duty. First of all, let's consider from the spiritual point of view that you are not the body, you're a spirit soul, and therefore the body, although may die, the soul is eternal. Those who are fighting before you, they are also eternal living beings. So no one will die. You're simply executing your Dharma. But if you do not do your Dharma, what will be the case? Everyone will humiliate you, speak ill of you. So consider this, Arjuna. Do not destroy your good family name or your reputation. Either your body will be killed, and what will be the result? You've done pious actions by fighting for a noble cause. Therefore, you can enjoy the Devalok, the heavenly realms. Or, if you become victorious, you will live a heavenly life here on Bhumilok as a king in a noble way, and everyone will give you honor that you have done the right thing. Therefore, treat this happiness and distress, this gain and loss, this victory and defeat, as if they were all the same. Let this conflict be your yoga, and you will not create pop. Fight, Arjuna. Do not consider happiness, distress, gain or loss, victory or defeat even. Fight for your noble cause, and the result will be positive. Otherwise, everything will be negative. Pop will follow you. Sinful, negative reactions will follow you, along with the humiliation of your abandoning your duty. This yoga of discernment that I am sharing with you now, O Arjuna, is called Sankhya. So Krishna, we'll stop at this point with verse 39, because Krishna now says, let me take you a little further in spiritual understanding. Hear from me about Buddhi Yoga and how you can be free from the binding effects of karma. That we will continue next time. Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Bol Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.